So today we're going to talk a little bit about sponsorships, SFL, voting, etc. I have to say, I've been reading a lot on social media that people are absolutely shocked about the SFL voting, that the people who are most popular are doing well. I feel like if you were looking at something like this, if you were considering about participating in it, running it, or following it, I can't imagine looking at the voting and thinking to myself, well, the people who are most popular with the biggest following are not going to get into the nominations. Like when you look at the top votes, you have Guilty, the ultimate hustler. Like by far, she is maybe the best out of anybody I can think of just building grumblings, discussion, eyeballs. Guilty always is excellent at that. Sherry, who put out this hilarious fucking video. She's running for goddamn president. And Automatic, who is a very, very frequent streamer and teacher and video maker and just popular competitor slash kind of handyman, everyman of the FGC. Jibbo's great. Yeah, what up, Jibbo? He's in the chat right now. Not surprising at all. This dude streams a bajillion hours a week. Neon also streams. Tournament competitor, very strong. Marine also streams. Nigel. You have Tommy Two-Step. I feel like Tommy is getting by on these 800 votes strictly because of his video, to be real honest with you. Commander Jesse, who so far is one of the better players that's been listed with 700 votes, and he's below everybody else. Why? What the hell do you guys know about Commander Jesse besides the fact that he's a really good Dawson player, you know? That's the real problem. He's been doing a good job because he's been streaming WNF on his channel lately, and he's been trying to stream and promote himself a little bit more lately, which is great. But this is why you see Jesse down here. He plays Sim, that's it. And Cool Kid's down here too, trying to get points or votes. I know that he has been sad that it's been a popularity contest, but who's surprised? Couldn't be me, dude. The way stuff like this works, it's the same thing with Summit voting. It's the same thing with anything that is literally a popular vote. It's gonna be popularity contest. Duh. Yeah, I don't know how to break this down for people, but this literally is a popular vote. So the fact that people are surprised that it's a popularity contest is absolutely shocking. It's a popular vote, so yeah, I mean, it's going to be a popular vote. It's also, you know, sort of in the discussion of promoting yourself, building brands, finding sponsors, etc., etc., etc. The thing is like anything, the amount of eyes you have on you, the amount of people who know about you, the amount you can flex your personality and your brand and get eyes on you outside of your play is going to be hugely important. There's lots of players who are excellent players but don't have a big social presence. They don't have a lot of followers. They don't have a lot of eyes or things outside the game that put people's eyes on them. And so it is not surprising that you have somebody like Cool Kid who made top 8 at Evo but is not as high as many of the other players on here, which none of these players are Evo finalists, but they're above them. You were an Evo finalist in Cross Tekken. That's correct, right, Jibbo? I forgot about that. Sex sells. That's why I'm voting for Cool Kid. If sex sells, I'm voting for Commander Jesse. That motherfucker's handsome, and he's got a nice beard, and he's a sweet guy. Jesse's a nice guy in general. There's a lot of rumblings on social media about how the voting works and stuff like that. Same thing that happened when the summit came up, dude. It's not surprising. It all ties back into the same discussion I had a while ago where the thing is about being a player and all this stuff. If you want to play fighting games and you want to perform well and you want to have success, then a lot of people have built the path on doing well as a competitor, right? Training yourself, learning how to be better, studying matchups, studying the tapes, putting yourself in opportune moments to play against excellent players and improve yourself as a player. The one thing is it feels like in fighting games, people forget that you also, if you want to have a career or some kind of dive into being sponsored, into making money in this, into building a larger audience and pushing it forward into something else, have to put some other kinds of effort or thought into building your own personal brand, building up a stream, building up your Twitter, etc., etc., etc. And if you look at the people who are successful, they're doing extra stuff outside of the game to build that presence. The exception is the 1% of players who are just so good that it doesn't matter what they do outside the game, they're going to be fine anyway. Even JDCR, Evo champion, like multi-time Evo champion, incredibly talented player, has to make Twitter posts and stay on social and tweet stuff when he's playing and stuff like that. Make YouTube content, stream. Like, that stuff is extremely important for him. JDCR, the world champion, is working with someone right now on creating a vlog for his YouTube channel. 2-time Evo champion. Yeah, twice. I said multi-time Evo champion. So when it comes to these kinds of things, you really have to work on stuff outside your game. And I feel like players are more and more cognizant of it. They're recognizing it more and more. And you have to be about it. You can't just realize, oh, these things are important. You have to also be like, okay, well, what can I do as a player to influence this? I don't have the ability to stream, so I'll instead make YouTube content, or I'll tweet and use Twitter as a vehicle to get content, or Facebook or Instagram or whatever social feeds you're using, you know? Dude, Brutus's Twitter game is hilarious. He's a beast on Twitter, actually. He's very, very good at his Twitter. He cracks me up. That kind of stuff is important for players. So yeah, I mean, you have to think about this kind of shit. It's the same thing for commentators and streamers and other people who are trying to reach out and get involved with stuff too. It's the same thing for me. You don't think my stream and my Twitter and my YouTube are vehicles to get myself hired for events? Those things will sell my commentary just as much as me being good on the mic. Those things are just as important. So no matter where you live or where you're from or what you're interested in, if you're a player that wants to kind of pursue to the next level beyond that, you have to do that kind of stuff. Anyway, it doesn't surprise me that these three are in the top 3. It makes perfect sense to me. But also, it's only the top 4 that make it in, and it doesn't end until this Sunday. Well, if only sex appeal is how you get in, then it doesn't make sense to me how Commander Jesse's not in the top 4. And also, Tommy Two-Step with this video. This video has more sex appeal than almost anything I've seen so far. He's in a robe. It takes more than just, being a great player or placing high for this kind of event. The things you cultivate outside of that is important, and what you do to further your brand or what people like about you or make yourself open and available is important. So what's funny about watching these nominations, particularly for me, and why this is such an interesting topic for me, is I almost opted into nominations. I was very close to opting in. I was really thinking about it. And I thought about what I would do to get into SFL and how my campaign trail would look. But then I was like, you know what? I don't think I need this opportunity. It takes too much time. It takes too much time. And there's other people who would probably have a better time on the season. It's like 15 days or something that you're going to lose overall on stream and in person. That's a long time. I can instead stay home and stream for all those days or travel and do other events. It is a long time commitment is the biggest issue for me. The players make good money. I think first place was 10,000 each, but you have to win. And I think Punk's team is pretty fucking hard to beat. I bet you Punk would have, if I was in there and the team option was available, I bet you Punk would have picked me for his team. I think that there's actually a lot of value in Automatic for a similar reason to me, is that he plays lots of characters. Automatic is, I think, a great choice because he can't be banned out and he can counterpick. Yeah, I'm not surprised at this current voting situation. Anyway, everybody, how are you guys doing? It's more of me, saying the same old shit I always say, which is you gotta care about stuff outside of the game.